I'm not going back and go over Isaiah chapter 6. But I want to show you these things. Right behind me is a chart. The the campaign, the first bombing campaign of Iraq and Afghanistan. These are the centerpieces of World War III, spoken of in Bible prophets. It's clear, plain, spoken of by God. God was the one who spoke these things to his prophets. So, these came from God. Somebody had to do these things, come back, because if you go to St. John, Jesus spoke to his disciples, told his disciples he had to go to his Father in heaven, and there were many things he had to show them, but they couldn't bear them all. Well, what he was talking about, speaking of, that man was going to grow into technology, and these other things, those that man was going to do out of mold and create molds, and making molds with his hand and creating craft with jet planes and fighting forces where he could entomb himself, and he's going to use this to dominate the earth. These people was going to come out as Gentiles. They would become the richest nation upon the earth and become the dominant superpowers of the earth. They would cling to the things that they craft that they had created with their own hand and manufactured with their manufacturers. And when they do these things, they're going to find they would be the greatest and the strongest man up on this planet. Through this, they was going to become, it's going to become an addiction to them. The work would be addictive and cause them to think that they could even whoop God of God, challenge God of God, and defeat him. But they was just drunken men, blind, and could not see the realities. And they were going to end was going to come so fast, and they is not going to be satisfied after they had gone throughout the earth, slaying peoples. Well, as God speaks to us, one scripture connects to another scripture. Isaiah chapter 6 shows where the United States was a drug infested nation. This identified where I was going to be born, and the nation was drug infested. Well, what I said was the part is the hurricane, Katrina, this in Hades. Have you looked at the news and you sit there and saw these peoples? I've spoke this throughout my prophecy. God was going to attack the food chain. He has so many ways he can attack the food chain. But when he attacked the food chain, and the same thing that you see with what caused happened in that earthquake the other day, the food chain is going to bring the exact same replica of an earthquake. It's going to bring up a chaos. He using this earthquakes to give to us a mirror that we might look into it and review this as ourselves, because this is what it's going to come to. I done said and I said, when I came down, was descending down out of heaven. When he caught me up in the spirit, year of 1995, this was long before George W. Bush got to be president, but after his father had became president. I knew what it was because his father-son duo, George Bush. This became Joe 1 and Joe 2. Well, people just turn their head when I try to talk to them because of their wealth and everything. But the wealthy people is going to be brought low just like those people you see in Haiti. The people you see in Haiti with no one to come to the United States will come down to that point. I'm telling you the truth. The people don't want you to know bad news, so they go. It's not bad news when it's giving you an opportunity to get your mind together and cling to your God. It's not bad news. Through your ignorance, you say it's bad news because you don't want to change. But what's what you do when it comes to its fullness? and the wrath of God is upon you, there's no way to where to run and nowhere to hide. I have a responsibility to tell you these. I worry not of myself. I worry because of you will not listen and you will not understand. Well, you see, the earthquake happened the other day. Just picture this. Just picture this. This is about the third or fourth day now. It happened on the 12th. And the people's done taken up arms, machetes, and going around and just going in the stores and just taking this and saying, we ain't got no food and no water. None of them, even the one that perished, didn't think of this. They didn't sit in their mind that the time of the return of Jesus is near. It was foolish, just like it was in the United States of America trying to break this way. They're all trying to get richer and richer, telling about prosperity. But when you're laying down there and you have no food or water, richness is just like a worthless piece of toilet paper. I'm speaking these things. Well, the people done took machetes and going out there. And they're going and killing people if they have to have it because they don't have nothing to lose. They don't have no hope no more. It's something that drove them and brought them to this curse where they don't have no hope. They've been believing in the man who was their enemy and turned their way from God, and God cursed them too. I'll get to it and I'll show it to you at why. It's written down in Bible prophecy so many times. God don't just turn on people out of hatred. There's some people have to do to God for God to take and turn on his people that he created and he loved from the foundation. He do these things. When he keep warning us, telling us who to not let in our house because they had a demonic spirit and they turned us against him and try to turn us in their favor and they use us and we serve him. God don't have no alternative to do but destroy everything that allowed this evil peoples to defile. Yeah, they have it. Well, in Daniel chapter 2, when he said he's going to hit that rich man up on his feet, which was made of clay, that means he's going to kill the food chain. And when he started killing the food chain, whether it be earthquake or flood, or even if he allowed the locusts to come up on America and eat all this crop up, and the cankerworms come, let a bad drought come, where the water dry, where there is no water, and there is no food, the hearts of men is going to turn the same way that they have in Haiti. Despite it all, every man is going to be for himself. And he's going to go in and slaughter. It will have a domino effect. All of this chaos will come, and we will beg and we'll cry, for God, did we have a second to turn our back against? But yeah, what we do, we got people here that got their head up in the sun that have a few dollars and they wish that dollar they have no substance of life. They make accusations and jokes about situations to get a laugh, get a rating. But the doors of destruction is upon us. The tides of life is beating up on our door, and sooner or later it's going to break in and it's going to consume us just the same manner it has consumed Haiti. We have sit and looked at these things in India, and we looked and saw the tsunami, and we seen the ones in New Orleans when they came in and this water came in, and many escaped it and went back to the same thing that they were done before the hurricane came there. How can God continue blessing a people that don't even care anything about him? He have not been glorified from the foundation of the earth up until thus point. Yet he let it rain in due season, and he let everything bear. But now we coming to the end. We're coming to the end. And you don't want to hear the truth, but I'm going to speak it to you.